Welcome on guys back. My name is Henki from Slots, and today we talk about the new set coming out, BT14. We have a lot of new strong archetypes and cards coming out, and cards are supporting other archetypes to be strong. But don't forget, we had to ban this. I will show this after this nice introduction, what it changed on our tier list. But first, right, left, hit up the thumbs up button for more awesome content and subscribe, because we are on a milestone. If we hit that, then I will give away a display from the new set we have right now, or you can wait to the next one. You can communicate, that's no problem. So subscribe then to your friends, and we can all share our big reach going to a mega level, because I want to hit 2,000 subscribers till the end of the year. But yeah, I think I need money for that. But yeah, we're going now into this nice video. I hope you guys have fun. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to change something. Maybe I forgot a deck or something like that I'm not have a track on. But tell me, then we can communicate into the description and comments. Let's go. Okay, we are right now at the video. Since I talked about the bandage restriction, we have the Digimon on 1 and the on deletion as well. Why is that? Because in Japan there was a build star deck combined with Garurumon draw engine, which was pretty insane and helps up to provide that we having not a lot of purple Garurumon right now, because the deck was in X05 or 4. We get 4, right? Yeah, we have 4. X04, 5. We get X05. Okay, but in the next EX set, so many sets right now. In the next set, there's a lot of purple Garurumon on the way, so they're restricting it right now with the Beelstar combo and the Garurumon combo. So that's the reason why this year. Then we have the ShineGreymon, what really hurts. ShineGreymon is a hard nerf for them, since as the Veckanine deck plays this as well, and security control decks as well. So there's a lot of nerf for deck because they played in dual tamer Kari and Tai, and they can't search it out anymore because the GeoGreymon is at 1. The Mach Gaugama nerf is okay. Shine hit have a more harder hit than the Mach Gaugamon, because they both get training and get more sources into the next set. What's the hell to combine with these nerfs? But you can play as other 4 of the Redramon. Icemon Scatter Mode at 1 is hard as well for the Buildstar combo, stuff like that. Xavier and Tommy coming back, so I think Jessamon can do a little bit stuff right now, but I don't think it's so good because the other decks are too powerful for the deck. And Tommy maybe some blue hybrid stuff later on releasing, because they're doing now the set rotation again from the new beginning, from 01, 02, 03, from the anime. And right now we have the Garurumon, the Greymon deck, so they're providing with more stuff coming out in the future, and all the decks getting support, so you can have the cards in the back. I guess it's just will be in one day having a support as well. Okay, so we have this tier. We start first with some decks and some decks getting support. We start first with Hunter. Hunter didn't sadly got any support. I play Hunter really often, but it topped, so it can top. Because you have a lot of ways you are fast, you don't lose anything. It's like X-Cross. X-Cross deck is always be there, but compared to no support. I know we're getting a new X-Cross card, but I don't have X-Cross in the thread, so it's not a good support card we're getting. So the thing is, I think Hunter is still a decent deck for 1.5 meta. It can win tournaments if you are fast enough with your opponent brick, because we have Evo decks, but Evo decks getting more support since training and stuff like that. Alphamon for me sadly didn't got any support in the Nexus. The Royal Knights didn't got any support from the BT14 set. So compared to that, you can build up your deck, you are huge, strong and stuff like that, but other decks can do better than you. So I guess it is a still playable deck. Same as for Amphimon, since the set coming after, the reprint set coming after the BT14 in 1 month, the decks don't have to evolve or can show in the meta what they can do as Gamamon. So Amphimon is for me a rogue deck. It can do stuff with bouncing, but there need to be more time, so it's sadly not right in the spot where it should be, but I think it's okay. Digimon is such a strong deck. Since compared to the nerfs and stuff like that, it can always win. It is for me a T1. You can put it as a lower T1, of course, but the power and the strong things that they have obviously got nerfed, but it's always strong because we see it in Japan, still topping in BT14 and taking some dubs. So, as for me, as T1. Then we go to the Bloomlord and Blue Flare, stuff like that. I have only the Japanese size, so for the we get a little bit of Palmon support here. What you can play, but Bloomlord is always the same. You can put your Ace Lilymon if you want to into deck, but you're getting not the support that you want to have. So for me, Bloomlord is a really good deck. It's always good, and is for me near T1, the one of the best deck. Blue Flare, for me a T1 deck. We got support. We have a new egg. You turn my opponent has no Digimon with no delusion cards, this Digimon gains jamming. This egg should be on the ban list because it's pretty broken in every blue deck that rip up sources. So having a free jamming type, what is pretty good, and you don't die necessarily. It helps you because your opponent need to get away from the spot. Then start of your main phase, the Gomamon trash any delusion card from one of your opponent's Digimon. This Digimon can be blocked for the turn, what makes it pretty good as a finisher. Opponent's turn, when this Digimon will be deleted, you might play one Gomamon from its delusion card without playing its memory cost. What is pretty good as well, that you have another Digimon on board to provide that, and you're getting Pseudomon Ace. These all cards you can play in your blue flat deck. Yeah. Hand Color Blast Digivolve is a new mechanic we have. We can evolve in the opponent's turn. On play, when you evolve in trash 2, any 2 devolution cards from one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no devolution cards to the hand. What makes it pretty insane as a card. This card is pretty nice. And Overflow is the consequence of losing this Digimon. You lose free memory for the free evolution effect. And that's all the stuff you're getting for your blue Flare deck. Yes. And that's the reason why Blue Flare is pretty good. Then we come to the new type of Machine Police. I think I saw some videos playing and I played it as myself. So I think this deck is pretty good because you have now things to do with your Tangramon, and it's not like having a bad level 6er anymore. So I'm getting a lot of support. Just look up the support real quick. I can show you with a new Tamer, stuff like that. Whereas the new Mizomon that getting push for Deep Brigade and Digipolice plus 2000. What makes it pretty nice. Okay, Black is on another side. I'm really sorry, here it was. Then we get the new Commandramon on play with the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Deep Brigade or Digipolice trade among them. What makes it pretty good, this deck have protection effects, evades effects, a lot of things you have to do because in the meta now we have a lot of destruction and this deck provides that, what makes it pretty good. And all turns once per turn when this Digimon will leave the battlefield other area by one of your effects, by leading one of the other Digimon with Deep Brigade, prevent it from leaving, what makes this pretty insane. Then the High Commandramon, what is Greymon, but it calls Commandramon. When taking with the top 3 cards of your deck, you might play 1 card with Deep Brigade or Digipolice threat with a cost 3 or less, so you're spamming out more things, what makes it pretty insane. Then without paying the memory cost, so you don't have a Commandramon anymore, would dies, play something, you have a lot of cards that search and play something, what makes this pretty good. And Defixmon is versus this deck's a thing, because this deck is pretty simple, like Red Hybrid, it goes pretty forward, but you have an evolution deck and getting support with training and stuff like that to have more searchable power, so, and a lot of more things to spread out the board. It's Defixmon coming clutch versus this deck. Alt once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, by leaving one of your prevented, so you're having all the prevent on deletion effects. This Gorgomon you don't play, it's okay, you're revealing again, but the other one, the Tangramon, is better. And then we're coming to Brigadramon or main Digimon. When you evolve, you need up to play 7 cost total worth of your opponent's Digimon. Opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with Deep Brigade gain blocker, what makes this pretty good. It's like now gains the blocker type. End of your turn, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You might play up to 7 play cost total worth of Digimon cards, so you're playing more cards out. Like I mentioned, Deathixmon is like juicing it up on this thing. And we got new tamer with effects as well. Let me search up, because we got some new juicy tamers here. Sasaki waifu. Okay, you play from the security start of your main. If your opponent has a Digimon you game over main boards, makes it pretty good because you reduce some evolution costs or some play costs. Main link, you can choose if you want to make the effect, so you can main link or not main link, and the rest you can read up from yourself if you pause this. But I think these tamers are pretty good. And for me, Command-Digimon Digipolice spam is for me tier 1. It is faster compared to Blue Flare, because Blue Flare has a lot of tools as well, but I think Digipolice will find its place. It's like Rookie Rush, but more on the evolution side of, but you can spam your board but lose to Deathixmon, to be honest. And Plex security bombs are hell of annoying. ShineGreymon. ShineGreymon for me, having as well new cards you can play into. You can play the Patamon in your deck. Now on you can play, to search up the option card, what makes it pretty good. You search for your usually stack one of your Digimon might evolve into one of your level or level 6. Recognize this was pretty good with the ShineGreymon, because you can look up into your security, then see what possibilities you have, pick them out, throw them in, and then evolve. What makes this deck pretty nice, because you skip something and don't need to hesitate if you have enough of memory among them without paying memory cost, and a shuffle. And if you have a Takashi, what you play as well, a tamer, you can read up 1 second, you play then as a little bit of engine. I think now you can rely more on this engine. I don't think it's too bad, but you're having now problems with your speed, and Digipolice as Mirage giving you much more trouble right now. So I think that ShineGreymon still is in Japan wise in the meta good, but I didn't have the bandless, so I'll make a prediction that this is 1.5. Sometimes if I played this deck, it feels kind of clunky, and with the new cards it was like, okay, the clunkiness goes a little bit away, but now I can look into my security and have problems. You can play the focus ticket, yes, but you lose in a turn versus fast decks, and this is the problem what you're having. As Command-Digimon lovers, I know I can put it as Rogue. It's okay. This deck can always do something with a specific deck, but lose as well specific decks, and you see it as always. It don't get much support right now, sadly. I thought this deck will get maybe a little bit of support, but I think it can stay right now at what is it be. As well as Digimon, it is for me a Rogue deck as well. It's not the best Rogue deck, to be honest, because it lacks of some effects. I make the deck profile with all the new decks. I hope to check it out. I can link it down in the description if you want to check it out. FenriLoogamon, so my little wolf. FenriLoogamon. Yeah, FenriLoogamon. I give Digimon my own names. When you evolve, you might play one level 4 or lower card with Dark Animal or Socken Trade from your treasure or playing as memory cost. If Eiji Nagasumi, the Link Tamer in this Digimon Evolution card, add up the number 2 of your cards playing effect when attacking once per turn by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon at 1 level to this effect you might choose. Return the condition and your turn. The turn and condition is the opponent having 3 memory or more. So this card is pretty broken. It don't get a lot of support. I show you the cards, you can pause them and read them up. It don't get too much support. In the next sets BT14 it gets support, but I think since they nerfed the MetalGarurumon, I guess this deck will show up, and the Beelstamon as well. So I guess FenriLoogamon, Logamon, stuff like that will be tier 1 in EX04 as well, and BT15 it's like Apocalimon and MetalGarurumon right now if they don't get hit by anything. So for me, with the spam potential and deleting, I think the Deprecate counters that, because you have a lot of things like prevent and evade, stuff like that, because they trigger at the same time, and you can choose to prevent that. I think the Digipolice have a better matchup versus you, as other decks. Okay, Galapmon. It's a still playable deck. It's okay. Ultimate Cup, it was a good favor, but we are not in the Ultimate Cup. We are right here, and I guess it's okay. Goldramon. It was the Vecanine deck with Goldramon, Venusmon spam that you can spam on your board, and then do with the new Goldramon an OTK potential, because you're spawning tokens, and with that you can attack. And since your opponent has all the time minus on the field, and you're gaining your potential stuff with all the tamers, this deck was really good. This deck do a lot of things, but you play ShineGreymon in it. I don't think this deck is right now hitted too much, because you're playing TK and can search up your stuff as well. But you're having now trouble. I think it is tier 1.5, but it lacks the kind of durability to be as fast as before, and some decks have problems with it. But I think you can play it as always. I think it's strong compared to other decks, because if you do minus on board versus Bluemon, they can do something like a Schwarzmon or Bloomlordmon, and then killing your dude but getting a lot of security stacks, versus the matchup with Hunter. They shuffle back your options, and then you have problems because at the next attack they check a lot of with plus, and ShineGreymon goes and delete your board and chilling. Like, it is okay. In Japan it did something, but right now with the ShineGreymon nerfs, I don't think it's necessarily at this point where it should be. Yeah. Okay. Imperialdramon. It's a still playable deck, but I would not compare to Rogue decks. I would Dirbitmon put in Rogue, because Rogue is for me a thing that these decks can win tournaments if they have the right things to do. But still playable is decks you can play, but you don't win any tournaments so far, or if you are lucky or something like that, you can do. Jesmon is for me right now a Rogue deck as well because of its buffs. It can win stuff, but right now we don't know what it should be, because the FXmon is a problem as well as it was before. And since these three decks at the top spam board and Jesmon, there are 4 decks that you can say, Bloomlordmon, 5 decks that are really good. The worst is FXmon, the second control player Yuri Riddle, the best of the world, is like, yeah boy, 4 times. But yeah, I think Jesmon is in the Rogue as good should be. Yggdrasil I will put as a tier 1.5 contender. You can win with some stuff, what is pretty good, as security control, as Hunter if you have your right options in the early and mid game. I had the problems, but with Bloomlordmon you have a lot of problems, and other decks that are faster than you, or stunning your board, or deleting stuff that you don't want to and want to defend yourself. Then you have a little bit of problems, and that's the thing what it is right now in a 1.5 contender. Mirage. Mirage getting support as well, as I showed you, same as the blue flare, and it can take everything. Every support I showed you this deck can play, as well as the Digimon training, and playing now the Vidramon for more power or more security attack. And this deck for me right now is one of the best decks, because only one deck has protection from bouncing and stuff like that. So, but yeah. For me, as a deck that I will say is the best Rogue deck to play is Alter S Hyrule deck. Right now is the answer for the matchups in BT14, winning a little bit of tournaments. Later on it get a little bit of support, like 1 or 2 cards I saw new in the deck. But for me this deck, if it's Hyrule you can't stop it. You just win with this deck, and that's the thing why this deck is for me in the Rogue type, because you can always win if you are lucky enough to keep going. Belphegor Rage Mode is for me a tier 2 deck, but one of the better ones. It didn't make anything in the last meta we have, but in this meta as well, because you played Scatter Mode and stuff like that, and it got nerfed because of that. So having a lot of struggle is a little bit hard, as well going for the next burst deck we having the Wravemon. I think Wravemon, yeah, it needs support. It should be getting now support to do something, but we get our purple meta on the late game. Security control. If you are a skilled security control player, this deck is tier 1. You're only losing hardcorely before with Yggdrasil, and you have a bit of problems if Mirage getting through with jamming, but you need then your security options, and the Brigade because it can prevent it, but the Fixmon are highly helping you out, and they get a little bit of support in the set. Bizemon was before 50-50, but right now with more support for the deck and more options, I think the percent will going 5 or 8% up for the security control player. So it should be staying as the tier 1. You only have problems versus Blue Flare and Yggdrasil, and with the other decks, if you play enough and know the meta very well, you can really do good stuff with this deck in this meta right now. X-Cross, it is a still playable deck, one of the best decks, but I don't think it can win right now because other decks are really faster and doing more stuff, and it can go through everything. It's just a not good hunter, but maybe with some new supports, with some new puzzle pieces, this deck will go up again. ShineGreymon is a pretty nice deck, but don't have exactly anything to do. The baddies should become the next set coming out. Then Sirius would have his time to shine, because then Mirage and ShineGreymon will be nerfed, and then SiriusMon can do stuff. I will put it as tier 1.5. You can play the deck, you can win with it, and I think it has a good win option, and Gamamon gets always support and stuff like that. So I think right now SiriusMon is tier 1.5. For Nana Blue, you can play as a rogue deck the Ulfos, because you can play Tutomon and stuff, all the things as well in this deck. But you need to high roll as well with the deck, so yeah, it's hard. Then we come into Wargreymon Tribal. I think Wargreymon Tribal deck, so you're playing the Ace Wargreymon, you're playing all the black Wargreymons you have for the meta compared to every situations and stuff like that. You have your Greymon X and your protection with the Yuji, or Yuya? Yes, you have your X antibody stuff, your cool boys that don't get restricted, so X antibody is a really good and strong archetype, and I think this deck is one of the best decks compared to Mirage, FenriLoogamon and DG Police. I will put these both as the same, because this deck smashed one of the other decks and this other deck smashed one of these decks. I will do so. So I think right now this is the best one. You don't get DefX countered, you can't play DefX for your thing, DefX don't matter to you. You play up your big stack and it don't get deleted. You don't have the problem with Apocalypse right now, you don't have the problem with Buster, stuff like that, because it got nerfed. So I think this deck should stay as it should be. BT14, Wargreymon time is done, because then Garurumon comes Rise and Shine. If you don't get banned this, but right now I would say it's one of the best decks you can play, because it's so strong on autopilot. And for the red mono Wargreymon, I will put as well as a tier 1.5 deck. Pretty strong as well, supporting up there, and I think with their new red Wargreymon, I can put more pressure on board versus your opponent, and I think this is it for the tier list. I hope you guys enjoy. As always, if I forgot something, I don't put Beardstar right now in here because it only got good with EX04 and we don't have that because I told you that. So I hopefully we see you all in Netherlands at the next one. I will do a lot of BT14 content, so check out, send it guys to your friends this video, subscribe, like for free, and we see us on the next video. Stay healthy as always, your Senki. Have a nice week and bye.